Welcome to 𝗂𝗶𝗹 Talk Series, your inside look into life at 𝗂𝗶𝗹. I'm Coach Beth. In every episode, we sit down with our leaders, recruiters, and team members to talk about career growth, work culture, industry insights, and everything in between. Today's topic is Global Careers Built for Growth, how Filipino talent can win in the international market. We're joined by someone who has spent years of helping connect world-class Filipino professionals with leading U.S. companies and building careers that create long-term growth opportunities. Please welcome our 𝗂𝗶𝗹 CEO, Landon Essig. Welcome, Landon. It's great seeing you again.
Thank you. It's great to see you and great to be with you.
So to kick things off, you've worked with Filipino professionals for many years. So what convinced you that Filipino talent could successfully compete on the global stage?
You know, one of the first experiences that I had with Filipino team members was actually when I started to evaluate 𝗂𝗶𝗹 as a company that I wanted to purchase. Prior to that, I didn't have a lot of experience, but what I did is as I started that process was I started to sit in different meetings with different team members that were already in and running the business. And I started in actually as a consultant, that's what the team knew me as. And I was able to listen and learn and see the ways in which they worked professionally. I had conversations with them personally and was able to very quickly assess the level of competence and capability that we had with these team members in the Philippines. And it made me very excited to be able to say, no, I think there's incredible individuals here. I've worked with team members from all around the world, and at that moment, really, I knew the Philippines had a whole lot to offer the world.
Yeah, and so it's inspired to see how Filipino talent continues to earn global recognition because of their skills, not just their skill, but also their dedication and professionalism.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So over the last decade, we've seen tremendous changes in how companies hire and build teams. So how has the global job market evolved, and what opportunities does that create for Filipino professionals today?
You bet. So I think, and I want to speak maybe more specifically to IT professionals, as I think that's an area that I've been living in for a long time. And then I'd like to really, take two different time periods. One was the just immediate post-COVID boom of what was happening in the IT space, and then compare that to today, what is going on. And in the post-COVID space where everything was a boom, I think individuals and companies really were looking to hire like anyone. If it was like, have you developed software before, or have you been involved in this? And it was like, we are really looking to find and hire and get them out. And I think what we've seen is a big maturity that's kind of been going on in the market, where it's become less focused on, hey, I want to hire anyone to get this done, and a lot more focused on how do you evaluate and assess the level of quality of the people that you're looking to hire and make sure they're going to be a really great fit at your company. And I think with that transition, it's instead of do you have experience with this technology, it's does this individual have the ability to be able to come in and make a meaningful difference? Can they understand where we're trying to go? Can they bring their best selves, not just their coding self, to make it so that what we're creating as a solution is going to be something that's meaningful.
Right. And I think it's fascinating that as the world becomes more connected, opportunities for Filipino professionals also continue to grow.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So what qualities do global companies consistently appreciate most about Filipino talent?
First and foremost, I would say attitude.
Yes.
I think the Filipino culture is an incredible culture, and the way in which Filipinos act and interact with people professionally, and the demeanor of a positive attitude. You always want to spend more time, and every time I come here to the Philippines, I'm always like, I love these people. Every time I come, I leave feeling so much better. And every time I'm working with my team and our team members that are in the Philippines, I can go into a meeting and know that coming out, I'm going to be happier for it. So it's their attitude and their willingness to dig in and do the hard work.
I hope your stay here is always worthwhile.
Absolutely is. Every time. I love it.
Yeah. So a lot of people focus primarily on compensation
Yes.
when considering career opportunities. So why is it important to think beyond salary and focus more on long-term career growth?
You see, I think a lot about this question even in my own professional life and development. And I think it's really short-sighted to first and foremost just say, hey, it's all about compensation.
Right.
I think there's a time in one's career where compensation becomes a bigger, more meaningful part of the conversation. But when you are in, I like to think when you're in your 20s, you shouldn't really be thinking much at all about compensation. You really need to be, thinking about and focusing on the experience that I'm getting. Is the experience that I'm getting something that's going to take me down the path that I really want to go?
Agree.
Being able to become the person that I want to be. And so in your 20s and I think early 30s, that the focus really should be, am I getting the experience, the opportunity to do things that are meaningful and learn? Because early in your career, it's a lot about learning. And then as you transition from kind of in and through kind of your 30s to 40s, I think there starts to be more of okay, I have learned a lot and I'm doing meaningful work. I also want to make sure the compensation is also equally I'm being well compensated for the good work that I'm doing, because the impact, if you've really developed the framework for decision making and the leadership and abilities that you need, your impact is much greater.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. So I think a great career is not just built on what you earn today, but on the opportunities that you can create for tomorrow, for the future.
100%.
Yeah. So when you look at professionals who have grown significantly in their careers, what common traits or habits do they share? What do they have in common?
I go back to a quote that my dad taught me often as I was growing up, and it was, you gotta wanna be the best. And this idea of you gotta wanna, I have used so much throughout my life. And it goes, there's a lot of different things. I will say attitude is an important aspect of that. You want to be able to go in, have a positive attitude, be able to work and interact with people well. But the desire to be the best is also about hard work.
Yes.
And my dad would often say, listen, if you want to be a ditch digger, be the best ditch digger. If you're going to be a rocket scientist, be the best rocket scientist.
Right.
In whatever it is that you choose to do, desire to be the best at it. Now, the second thing that I think was really important, came after that, you got to want to be the best. It was really about, if you want to desire something and want to be the best at something, you need to create, have a vision of what success really looks like, and then write out a plan of how you're going to get there.
Right, because success is subjective. So what success means to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Define that.
Right.
Write out what do you need to do to get there.
And having the right attitude, actually, you would go far.
Yes.
You will never go wrong.
Yep.
And I believe these traits can be developed if anyone is willing to put in the effort.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
That's right. Yeah. So for someone early in their career, how can they start positioning themselves for bigger opportunities in the future?
So I think if you're going in with that mindset, the mindset of I need to go in and understand what is the work that I'm being hired to do, what am I being asked to do. But then one of the things that I like to do is take a step back and look at your managers and ask the question, what are they being asked to do? How does their role play into the broader, the business success? And then ask, well, what is the goal of the business? And if it's, as a young professional, you understand what your role is, and how you're being measured from a success standpoint, and you understand how your manager's role, what their role is, how they're being measured. If you can go the manager's manager, so their manager asks the same question, and then the company as a whole, you start to look at things in a very different lens. The decisions that you make might actually be different than if you're just focused on your one specific area. And I actually think that will lead to tremendous opportunity and success growth opportunity because people are going to recognize, listen, this individual thinks differently and they're acting differently, but the way in which they're thinking and acting is more aligned with what the company needs, and that will provide great opportunity for growth.
Right, and the key is also you start developing that mindset and habits early that align with future opportunities.
Yes.
So the workplace continues to evolve rapidly, especially with technology and AI changing how we work. So what skills do you believe will become even more valuable over the next 3 to 5 years?
I mean, I'll say in the world in which we live, very much in the technology space, and I'll say technology very openly, because this is not even just for software developers, but we're building and helping companies both with software development and operations and other areas. I think over the next 3 to 5 years is the ability for individuals to be able to integrate AI into their to adapt to and integrate AI and leverage AI to be the absolute most effective that they can be. And I think as individuals, if we can learn and do that, our abilities to be able to accomplish tremendous things just increase exponentially. And so I think that's probably first and foremost the number one thing that I think individuals can do.
Yeah. So for those who are watching, you should not fear AI. I mean, it should not be overwhelming. So it's important to adapt and use it as a tool to be able to work smarter and more efficient in your role. So Landon, if you were starting your career today, what would you focus on learning? What would you focus on learning or developing first?
If I'm starting a career today, I think it's in a large part the same thing that it's really been in the past. I don't think the framework has really changed a lot. First and foremost, I think it's how to be an effective individual, and I would recommend for anyone that's starting, read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That is a book that was written a long time ago, and it is still equally applicable today as it was then. And so focus on the growth and development of oneself and learning, understanding and mastering the self, and then being able to build from there. Yeah,
I agree with the holistic development of oneself. And if you do that, early, it can actually accelerate growth significantly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So looking ahead, where do you see Filipino talent fitting into the future of the global workforce?
Yeah, I think there's continues to be a tremendous opportunity. Again, I would highlight first and foremost attitude, work ethic. There was another experience that I had in my early days of working with team members in the Philippines, and I needed to assemble a team, a software development team, and for my brother's company. And that was it was very meaningful. It was a startup, and so I knew, listen, we had to do this right. And so I started going through interviews, and I was like, I got to find the right individuals. And there were two individuals that Kent Ferrolino and John 𝗵𝗂, and we hired them as both a front end developer and then a back end developer, and really being able to see the development. And their abilities as individuals to be able to kind of take on a challenge and move forward. And how does that apply, really as we're moving forward? It's the same approach and methodology of attitude, hard work, willing to figure it out, and move forward. And I think doing that, and if we just have that mentality, come what may, we're going to be able to make a difference in the global economy. Yeah,
so take note: attitude, hard work, and willing to figure out. Yeah, that's right. So, that's really an exciting outlook for the Filipino professionals. So, what's one advantage that Filipino professionals have today that perhaps they don't fully realize or appreciate?
I think they have, it's the opportunity. I think the uniqueness of the Philippines is there are many countries from all over the world that are coming to the Philippines to help businesses grow and develop in all parts of the world. And I think that is really is cultivating a tremendous opportunity for the Filipino people to make a difference all over the world, and to be able to say, look, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to do. And I'm not saying where I want to go in moving away, but in saying, like, this is where I want to go with my life, this is how, the life that I want to live. And I think we can build that here.
Yeah, I agree. And for those aspiring to work remotely, that's a key advice that you can keep in your toolkit. Yeah. So Landon, if you could leave our audience with one piece of advice, about building a successful global career and continuing to grow professionally, what would it be? One
piece of advice. That's a great question. I'd probably go back to, unfortunately, I'm going to go back to some of the things. My first piece of advice is you got to want to be the best. And if you can move forward and have that mindset, that mindset can carry you forward if you want to be the best, and then you're willing to put in the work to craft the vision of what success looks like to you, and then write down how you're going to get there. I mean, the stars are the limit.
I agree. So that's such a strong message to end on, especially for those building other global careers. So before we wrap up, let's have some fun with a quick rapid fire segment.
Okay,
so it's like a fast talk. Are you ready for this?
Yes,
So
we're ready.
Just give us the first answer that comes to mind. No overthinking.
Okay.
Okay. So one word that describes Filipino talent.
Attitude.
Okay.
I actually say positive.
Positive. Yeah. The most underrated skill for career growth.
Planning.
Remote work, is it trend or the future?
Trend.
Okay. What's more important, talent or attitude?
Attitude.
AI, is it a threat or an opportunity?
Opportunity.
The best career advice you've ever received?
Pay it forward.
One book you'd recommend to someone who wants to grow professionally?
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
So friends, be sure to get a copy of that book. One word that comes to mind when you hear global careers?
Just opportunity.
All right, so thank you so much for your insights and for your time. So we're excited to welcome you back in the next few months.
Thank you so much.
So today's conversation reminds us that succeeding in the global market isn't just about having the right skills. It's about having the right mindset. Filipino talent already has what it takes. The key is to keep learning, keep growing, and be ready when opportunity comes knocking. So that wraps up another episode of Code of Talk series. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, follow, and share. Check out our open remote roles for developers, accountants, VAs, and support specialists in the description below. So friends, don't just work. Thrive with 𝗂𝗏, where global careers are built for growth. This is Coach Beth. See you in the next Code of Talk series.